Hello everybody, this is Sensei Starman and welcome to the final chapter of Let's Play Fallout London. Well, we've been through a lot, fire, flame, frost, and game crashes, but we are now within the walls of Parliament. And it turns out that Parliament is made up entirely of clones of us, or rather, clones of Smythe. Sadly, we cannot zap any of them, although we did just grab a nice mighty zap pistol off of this legendary sergeant that we took out. And there is another legendary sergeant who just ran right past us. Legendarily stupid, more like. Let's see if we have another nice legendary weapon. Sprinter's Riot Police left leg. Anyway, Parliament is not doing anything to stop us. From escaping. Although the super clone Juggernaut might in close quarters. Thankfully this one is easily staggered, it looks like. Let's see, bolstering disciples, strapped left arm, grants increasing energy and damage resistance, lower your health. Anyway, our goal is to get to the top of the Elizabeth Tower for some reason. All these fancy artifacts, a tea station. Yeah, it will not let us take our weapons past this point. We will, however, thankfully, be given something to fight with. The irony being that there's a weapons workbench here. And there's a utility closet where you might think, well, this would be a handy place to find a hidden gun. Not so much, it's just a bunch of healing gear, although I do love how there's a box of gears, which is one of the rarest construction items in the game, just sitting here. And yet, there are things here, but these doors all open up onto certain death. There's a bunch of little artifacts, but our goal is up at the top. Because, yes, we are going to have a nice, dramatic fight up at the top of a clock tower. I guess because the Reichenbach Falls were not available. I love how there's a copy of the Anarchy Times. Anyhow, pillows, a sewing machine. Okay, climb the tower, meet your maker. And there he is. I just got a poison tip umbrella.
Here I am. I tried abandoning you to the wastes. I tried having you killed. I had you tried and convicted. Despite my best efforts, you remain to the bitter end. So let's talk.
We look the same.
We are the same. Any difference between us is derived from our experiences and scientific error.
Am I a clone?
Yes. You were to be my replacement before this sorry state of affairs, had you completed conditioning.
Are you a clone?
A clone of a clone of a clone, etc. I am long since removed from the original Smythe, yet feel exactly what he felt, and remember exactly what he lived through. If you had finished conditioning, you would be exactly the same in body and mind as the man who walked these lands before Doomsday struck. The only man who saw it coming, whose warnings, had they been heeded, would have quite literally saved the world.
Why is the House of Commons full of Smythes?
Had things gone differently, they would be running the country. You must understand, I respect the parliamentary and legislative process. It's the people within the process that made it fail. So, I compromised.
How do I know this isn't another trick?
The theatrics are over. Quite frankly, it would serve no purpose to deceive you any longer.
We may look the same, but we're nothing alike.
Oh, I agree. I'm not surprised you turned out the way you did. Thrown into that cesspool with none of my wisdom, anyone, even me, would struggle to rise above it.
Let's discuss another matter. Why do all of this? Explain yourself.
That's a very open-ended question. What exactly are you demanding I take accountability for?
Providing those who actually want a better future for London?
Surely you're not referring to Camelot. The world burned under the watch of democracy. I wonder how long it will be before it burns again under Arthur's quaint little regime.
We're planning to take over London?
If you want something done right, you've got to do it yourself. A world of Smythe, shaped by Smythe. That's what I believe in. Power isn't held in symbols, but in people. Having the right person in the right place at the right time means everything. I am that person, and this is the place, and this was the time. You may think that's incorrect, but it's what I believe.
For your experiments?
The experiments that gave you life, that pushed the scientific frontier further than ever before in human history. It's a matter of perspective. The benefit of my experiments, private and public, far outweigh the social cost. When you're victim to that social cost, it will blind you. It will be all you care about. That's understandable. But when looking at the situation objectively, you would see nothing but the efficient allocation of resources.
Let's discuss another matter. Who are you really?
I am Smythe. Mr. Smythe. I've never lied to you in that regard.
How old are you?
If you counted up my lifetimes, I'd be about 200. Give or take a few decades. I stopped counting.
Where are you from?
I was born in what is now known as Eastminster, before the Blast Wall Initiative.
What did you do before the Great War?
I worked for the government in the Ministry of Information. That is where Angel grew its wings. I made that ministry my own. Even after I was imprisoned for my activities, it was still under my thumb. I spent the last few years writing letters about the coming war to the Prime Minister, the Cabinet, the opposition, the President, everyone. They were all ignored. There was naught I could do from my cell, and Angel was only in infancy. So on the 23rd of October, 2077, the world ended.
How did you survive the Great War?
I was imprisoned right up until the last day, exactly where I wanted to be. I was ready. My escape was immaculate, every last detail flawless. The Ministry of Information had been building our own Pindar bunker for years. From there, I watched the world burn. The bunker in question is, of course, the one beneath the Angel Underground Station.
And let's get more. This up. This ends now, Smythe.
Very well. Let's finish this.
What happens now?
Isn't it obvious? You brought an end to my world. Now I shall bring an end to yours.
Yep, fighting with poison-tipped umbrellas. In a clock tower. I have been hoping that we could have James Bond show up for this, because in my original playthrough off camera to test this, he did show up to... And yeah, hit him so hard that he just... I hit him so hard that he spontaneously grew his glasses and hat back. Well, he can get instant heals, so can I. Woulda, coulda, shoulda, didn't. And with that, we get a choice. Save them, let them drop. There is something to be said for nobility, but
far surpassing the expectations of their creator, the Wayfarer had ultimately swayed the course of history. Arthur, true to his word, began the process of establishing a true representative democracy. For better or worse, the fate of London would be tied to the will of the people. Camelot continued to fight the enemies of democracy wherever they found them, ensuring fair and free elections in the region. Falling to their demise, the final seconds of Smythe's life were spent watching their replacement shrink into the distance. He considered the events leading up to this moment, and all the ways such a fate could have been avoided. However, in some small part, it came as a relief. Passing the torch had always been part of the plan, and now his job was done. The future was no longer his burden to carry. The Wayfarer, remembered as Gaheris in the new legend of the Round Table, was honored for generations to come, not as an individual, but as a part of something greater. The Tommies continued to report to the government with a new charter outlining their role in a true democratic society. With Pete Davies at the helm, the Roundels rebounded. After cleaning up the few straggling hooligans, their club sprang back to life, though with tamer partying, because, thanks to a newly, mostly sober Davies.
He cleaned himself up.
The pistols of Camden embraced the future with cautious optimism. While life in Camden didn't change all that much, the rest of London adopting a way of life similar to their own was reassuring. Following the Battle of Westminster, the Camden Council discussed the Wayfarer's actions in depth. The Wayfarer was declared an honorary member of the Council for their involvement in the uprising.
Well, I pretty much was already anyway.
For the time being, Miller's men were left alone. They were deemed too much of a hassle to deal with, and Islington was blockaded. While they would occasionally sneak out and attack neighbouring boroughs, their rage, for the most part, turned inwards.
Okay, weird.
With no outlet for their fury, this spawned a culture of infighting. Gangs of Miller's men would beat each other to the death over trivial matters. Fortunes were lost and won at a swing of a fist. Only one thing united them: their devotion to their leader, Miller.
Who I killed, and weirdly enough, that's the exact same thing I got the first
The
time where I didn't
dissatisfied
kill him.
Normans embarked on their journey home, crossing the Thames Barrier, never to be seen in London again. The Normans who stayed behind would steadily thin in numbers as they continued to pursue their barbaric ways. Traders came and went, but the Croydonians rarely crossed the bridge that had been built for them. They regarded the rest of the world with disinterest, and they were better off for it. The Tommies never returned to Brickton, and their independence was guaranteed for years to come. They became a safe haven for those in London seeking a simpler life. In the grand scheme of things, they were insignificant, and they wouldn't have it any other way. While the rest of the city marched on, Brickton remained a capsule in time. Change was slow in Eastminster following the fall of the gentry. The Good Samaritans were instrumental in keeping a semblance of order through the chaos. With their newfound autonomy, the flame of community spirit burned brighter than ever. The free and fair elections were not kind to the gentry, who failed to form a majority in the subsequent Parliament. As time went on, the law no longer turned a blind eye to their extractive policies. This financial shock caused a significant decline in the Westminster surplus. Now on equal legislative footing with the rest of London, the gentry redirected considerable resources into lobbying for their interests. This investment would ensure they retained their economic dominance. The Wayfarer retrieved all the lost plays for the troupe at Shakespeare's Globe. The theatre prospered in the new world as it had in the old, entertaining the people of London indefinitely. The vagabonds surged in strength under their popular leader, gaining wide control over East London. For those that were part of Sebastian Gaunt's growing cult following, it was a golden time. For those who were formerly with the Syndicate, or suspected of being so, dark and bloody days would come. The Thamesfolk disappearances, thanks to the Wayfarer's efforts, stopped almost entirely. Through time, wounds healed, and the Thamesfolk finally began to climb out of their tunnels and sewers.
All right.
Archie had finally found his place in the world beside the Wayfarer. Half sidekick, half friend. They were inseparable for the rest of their days. He never stopped adventuring, his sharp tongue getting him into trouble that he always barely squeaked out of. Kira continued her pursuit of treasure through the capital, always seeking greater and more daring gains. But though riches greased her palms, it was never enough, and so she decided to leave London, endeavouring to explore beyond the capital, Her new quest is to become the most famed adventurer in the world.
Good for her.
Mad Jack returned to the only place he could ever truly call home, his gym. The crusade against the shadows of his past was not marked by the fall of his enemies, but the rise of a new Mad Jack. Once a mere haven for his own tortured psyche, the gym evolved into a sanctuary for the forgotten and neglected souls of London. Here, he imparted lessons not just in physical strength, but in the virtues championed by the Wayfarer. Arthur Mountbatten's mind slowly but surely began to falter. Before the darkness could take him, he would spend the remainder of his days making up for lost time. He helped others the best he could in this strange new world that he had helped to create. When the time came, he would ask the Wayfarer for one final favor, an end to his troubles. He would do it with a smile. For what better person could give him his death than the person who gave him life? And so, the Wayfarer's journey came to an end. But it was not the end of history, only the beginning. Because in mankind's pursuit of power, there is no price too high, no life too valuable, and no ideal too sacred. Because war never changes.
So yeah, that is Fallout London. And we have the very appropriate song for the closing credits.
We'll meet again. Don't know when, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you.
You know, I am faintly amused. I don't think any of the other Fallout games ever used this song, which was the last song in Doctor Strangelove, or How I Learned to Stop Worrying and Love the Mom.
To the folks that I know, tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. When meet again, don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. We'll meet again, don't know when, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know, tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing sunny day. Keep smiling through, just like you always do, till the blue skies drive the dark clouds far away. So will you please say hello to the folks that I know? Tell them I won't be long. They'll be happy to know that as you saw me go, I was singing this song. Will
And yep, Sylvester McCoy and Colin Baker there.
don't know where, don't know when, but I know we'll meet again some sunny day.
Heck of a way to end it. But, yeah. I love this game for all the glitches, for all of the problems that we had getting it to run in the first place. This is, bar none, the best mod I've ever played through for any game. I consider this a worthy continuation of the Fallout franchise. And indeed, I'd consider this just as canon as the other games made for it. So Bethesda, hire these people, put them to work on Fallout 5. Because Fallout 76 was an interesting experiment, but we want the solo adventures. We want the stories of our own. We want to explore the world, not getting sniped by trolls, player killers, and whatnot. But yeah, for those who are curious, I did also play through to find out what happens if you spare Smythe and you try imprisoning him, but he escapes, and it's just implied that they try and undermine the government, but it doesn't work. But yeah. This is Fallout London when you win the game for the Camelot folks. You can also play through the game and save the city for the Gentry through Angel or the Fifth Column. I personally have no interest in seeing how those ways play out right now. So thank you all for watching. Please like and subscribe if you haven't already. Next time, we will start a new adventure. So thank you all for watching, and keep the adventures alive. Take care till then.